All right, we are live to 0 people. Now, someone's going to see this because I am posting this on my Substack too. So one of you guys are going to see this, hopefully. So I already know you. And welcome to Process of the Paraprosdokian, episode 2, where we discover how to patiently endure the pain of life with the help of people so that you can engage with your purpose, share your perspective, and live to tell the tale and get some life renewal out of it. Feeling really good today. First of all, I am at a friend's place in D.C., Washington, D.C. I'm staying in their office. It's been pretty great. And without further ado, let's get into it. Well, pain. Let's go. I don't know if there's anything. Oh, yeah. There's tons of stuff I want to share, of course. What am I talking about? Let's just open stuff as usual. Yeah, in the comments, please let me know if you saw the episode before, if there's anything that helped you. All right, let's go here. What am I sharing with everyone? Yeah. Well, this is a particularly relieving week. So last week I finished up Center for Talented Youth, and it felt like I was holding on a weighted vest, climbing up a mountain to finally take it off and see the view. And so this week, I gained a whole lot of perspective, I should say. So this episode is really about two things: worship and warfare. And so this is something I went over last week. This is a combination, as usual, of a few different things. The Golden Circle and the 2020. Now, the Golden Circle is about why, what, and how, and for who, and with who. And so the question I've been asking myself regarding financial independence is, why do I want to be financially independent? And I went to the Museum of the Bible, which I'll talk about later, which is why I'm wearing the hat, All Creation Sings. And what it really, really put into my heart and seared upon my brain is that we are made for worship. And warfare is only there when worship is threatened. When the Israelites are set free, right? They say, let our people go free. Let my people go free so that they may worship in the wilderness. And also the fall of man brought about work. And so work and worship actually do not come from the same etymology. To work, there's a association of energy, but worship is to prove one's worthiness. And so actually let's see if I can look up right here, work etymology, right here. Right, so there's well, I wanted the etymology, of Germanic origin. Well, this doesn't really work in verb. Let's see. Work in verb meaning in Germanic. To work, to labor. So the idea that well, actually, if you look at the Genesis myth, it very much shows the birth of agriculture and that move that we've talked about from hunter-gatherer to work and to labor. And so so we were made to worship and to be God's creation and to participate in creation and to create law out of this, to name the animals. And that was our destiny. And it was unfortunately co-opted by Satan, the accuser, who convinced us that we needed to have the capacity to be like God, which is to judge good and evil. And so I definitely think I have other things that will expound upon this. But I was rereading the parable of the talents. So the king is going away, and so the master is going away in the parable of the talents. And I was thinking about why is the master going away? Now, the parable of the talents, in Matthew 25:14-30, there's a man, a master going on his journey, usually, called his servants and entrusted them to his property, and to one he gave 5 talents, to another. So some of you have heard this before. and some of this is used to see that God is vindictive. But a talent is a whole lot of money. It's about 20 years worth of wages. So if you received a talent, that'd be like $1 million. So if you wasted that, you can see how someone would be pretty mad. And so he went away, and now you see that I'm not going to go through it right now. But his master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over little. I will set you over much." Right, and so that's a common phrase, right? And so, for to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. From the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. Now, this is also sometimes called the Matthew principle, Matthew effect, or the Pareto principle. The tendency of individuals to accrue social economic success in proportion to their initial level of popularity, friends, or wealth. There's this 20% that ends up accumulating much of the wealth, and the other 80% largely goes in the other direction. Now, I think I brought this up before, which is that the idea of working to deserve rest, and resting such that the work may bear fruit. Now, Jesus talks about they shall know you by your fruit, and he also says they shall know you by how you love one another. So the fruit that Jesus wants us to bear is love for one another, and there's no greater love than this, to sacrifice one's life for another, right? So all this money, financial independence, all this talent, everything I have needs to be for worship. It needs to be sacrificed. It needs to be for others, right? It needs to be multiplied, right? So there's work to be done. And so I want to get to work. I want to be worthy, but I'm already well pleased in his sight. And so in the prodigal son, when the son returns and he's lavished with gifts, and everything that the Father has is his. Everything the Father has is mine. And therefore, I want to work, and I want to make it meaningful, and I want to build the kingdom. And so, I just, all creation sings. I know that is on the other side. Actually, I'll share with you guys like a YouTube video in the links. It's a near-death experience. The man went to hell. How do I find it? Nope, not that one. Afterlife. He has a book. I can find it. Hey, I can find it. I'll link it to you guys at some point. Okay. I'm still parsing through the Exodus series, Jordan Peterson, and I'll send anything that stood out. Let's see. Yeah, this was interesting. The word iteration, right? Iterate. It's a common thing with engineers. It comes from to utter, actually. So there's a scripture about utterances and their purpose that I went over. And so I'll bring that back up in the patience section. As always, it's very uncomfortable for you to see the inner workings of my mind, but that's okay because it's important to me. Be honest, and no one even watched the first video, so even if 2 sees this, well then our intimacy will be shared. This was interesting. I mean, obviously my name is Nathanael, and also I've been going by Nathan. Nathan was the prophet who called on David's hypocrisy, and then the son of David is named Nathan, and then Jesus comes from this, and Nathanael was one of the apostles, and also my name, Nathanael Philip, my middle name Philip, both of them got martyred, and so I'll talk about this later. I went to the Holocaust Museum, and just understanding what is the real call of the cross, to take up one's cross. Well, it's not pretty, but I think I'm leaning into this. I'm understanding. So I went over this before. This is the hierarchy of callings, and occupation. I want this to become my job. One of the goals is to make enough money that I can, this entire thing, the Paraprosdokianist, this entire process and way that I share it with people through all the pieces that I do. I want it to be my job. And so therefore, this was drastically important in terms of changing the way that I understand work. Because if to work is to use my time and energy and to worship and to show worthiness, then work itself is a consequence of the fall, which was the deception of the accuser, who wished to judge what is good or evil, rather than impose the law of the eternal judge. So God has created the law, and rather than carry out the law and participate in creation, Satan wanted to tempt Adam and Eve with the knowledge of to be the judge, right? Rather than the tree of life, which is much more important first and foremost, which was going to be granted before this act. So therefore, worship was the original call, and work is the consequence of trying to be a judge rather than righteousness itself. So trying to judge others, which Jesus says you must judge righteously, rather than being righteous itself. So this is obviously something I'm very much struggling with, because I'm understanding that it is my job, it is my calling to be righteous, which means to go towards that which is good, right? God is the culmination of good. So therefore, there's worship and warfare, right? So I'm understanding more, and I'll talk about it later, about my relationship between the two, because I'm caught in a lot of warfare and temptation, but I forgot that I'm created for worship. Warfare is not what is the norm. Warfare is when tyranny and worship are threatened, right? So anyways, my life is a consequence of my family, and there's labor in the soil and labor in the birth. This is their work, right? So my parents literally worked and toiled, and I'm a consequence of that. But my life, my soul, right, not my body, is a consequence of worship, right? And so I can't wait. There's a quote by worship leader Chandler Moore, and it's on his I think it's Chandler Moore from Maverick City. Yeah. And his website, does he have his website? I remember reading this, and he said to live a life worthy. Oh, it's already different. Anyways, it was to live a life worthy of the calling, right? So to worship is to be made worthy. To work is to be made worthy of the calling. And the calling is heaven. That's where we're called to. And so, I can't wait. See if there's any insights here. When I'm done with all of this, I'll send it. I'm not quite done yet. So this one. Large crowds were traveling with Jesus, and turning them, he said, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. And whoever does not carry their cross and follow me cannot be my disciple." Now, hate meaning to neglect, right? So I'm in a war with my flesh, and that is something I'm going through, which is that my flesh must die so that my spirit can be lifted up. And so this was a very trying time, and I understand that that ultimately, when my flesh, as my flesh dies, our cells are dying constantly. So as my flesh dies, my spirit can be lifted up. So anyways, this is about, suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, "This person began to build and wasn't able to finish." Now, this is a book, The Cost of Discipleship, by Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Cost of Discipleship, which I will link, as always. Now, this is the cost of worship, okay? Now, to worship, this is our calling, right? But this life, there's a cost, okay? And this is true. This is true in politics. This is true in the nonprofit realm. I saw this firsthand. I saw people mismanage money. I saw people mismanage the cost. And in my own life, seeing what is the cost of taking on this calling. Wow. We will reveal more in this about what is the true cost. Now someone's calling. And this is an important call, but I'm recording this podcast. And dear friend that I'll bring up later. Or suppose a king is about to go to war against another king. Won't he first sit down and consider whether he is able with 10,000 men to oppose the one coming against him with 20,000? If he is not able, he will send a delegation while the other is still a long way off and will ask for terms of peace. Now, this is interesting. I mean, this is an aside, but diplomacy is only there because the king cannot make war. Warfare is very undesirable, and so diplomacy is a second, is a way to avert that. But as many of you know, there was a hostage deal. Joe Biden got hostages from Ukraine and Russia, and Kamala Harris said, this is the power of understanding the significance of diplomacy. And then this, anyways, many pundits say that diplomacy is a last resort, and so it should not be considered a victory when the terms were not actually desirable. So, there's so much more here, but the cost of discipleship. So, this is something from Alex Hormozy. Now, work for free and offer value. I've said that you should offer to work for free for someone to learn from them. Well, you have to define what is it that you want to learn from them. Go for someone 1 to 2 steps ahead of you. What can you do for free for them which provides value? Be an adult, do your homework, figure out what you can do, then do it. And expect that the person won't care, then keep doing it. If it's good, they'll give you a shot. How are you going to do this? Has anyone taken you up in your offer? If yes, how will you execute? If not, how can you make it better? An offer I would take is something that helps me now, make my life easier and faster, including the interaction with the person. Does it help them now? Does it make their life easier and faster? Now, I have a whole list of people, but I have not defined work and learn. So, obviously, it's not going to work. And I can attest to that. See any other new insights? Well, this is very interesting. Take the lesson without the scar. This is from either Charlie Munger or Warren Buffett. Actually, I'll link one of the things because of Alex Hormozy's. I can at least link that. Take the lesson without the scar. Well, again, worship and warfare. So this is very interesting to think about. What exactly is the lesson that I'm trying to learn? How can I circumvent the scars? And so this emphasis on warfare, rather than spiritual warfare, rather than worship, is something that I think my heart was in the wrong place. I can link the video associated with this. Some of my goals. I think I didn't share these last time, so I think it's important that I share them. The exact process is going to take quite a lot of time to elaborate, and I have that on one of the things to attempt to do that, but I just want to tell you guys, maybe that's all I should do. You know what, we can talk later. I want to make this a live stream. It would be really cool to participate with people and get their feedback while I'm doing it. It'd be very expensive, and also energy costs and setting up a studio. And I have all the means, but it's going to take some time. All right. This thing, the Paraprosdokianist. That's. I mean, I'm trying to build something very big, which factors into facilitating other people gaining an audience. I really want this to be something that can build other people up and be just something outside of myself. And so these are part of my goals. I want to be a prospective husband. This is from Tucker Carlson, who is a white supremacist, racist, bigot. He said, get married too young, have more kids than you can afford. So, I want to start a business too young, start more projects than I can afford. I want to be a husband. I want to provide. And so, yeah. I'd like to make that a reality. Eventually, I will share the processes associated with dreamlining and all of this stuff with time. It's a lot to parse out, and things have been, I'm technically still kind of on vacation a little bit. There we go. That is I can't wait to talk about some of this stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to Grand Canyon University. Go back. I never went, but go back to school and get my teaching credential and master's. We'll see if I have to use it, but I'm gonna do it nonetheless. and there's lots of things I'm working on. So, okay, so going through my week. Yeah, well, I finished out at CTY, and I learned so much. This is extemporaneous. There's no audience. It's so much easier to speak from the heart, and yet I don't know if anyone's listening, and so maybe that changes things. Maybe that changes the way that I speak, but it was a wonderful experience despite its difficulties. I made lifelong friends. I grew spiritually. I gained strength. I gained perspective. I gained resilience. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to worship. I'm ready for war. I'm ready for anything. And so I'm ready to stop comparing myself to my past self, because my flesh needs to die. My spirit is eternal. And so yeah, no more of thinking about the past and could this have happened, or this have happened, or this, did I waste my talent? I'm back home. Everything the Father has is mine, and I want to please Him. And so that's what I learned. Now I went to the Holocaust Museum and the Portrait Gallery, and I did a stand-up show, and my friend who just called me is not having a good time, and that was very difficult. One of my best friends, who I cherish dearly, we're working on many different projects, and it's a dangerous place that he's in. And so I prepared for war, and I forgot that what I needed to do on that stage was to worship. And so had many revelations, which I'll talk about right now. I did a comedy club, and I'm not ready for them. And I learned something. I really learned something about. I read this prayer, the ethos of spiritual warfare, adapted from the Navy SEAL, which I'll link again. But I learned something about. Hold on 1 sec. I just want to make sure that I reveal to you some of the things that I learned from this set. Okay. So this verse about spiritual warfare, right? There are two things. My heart was racing. I was in fear. And so I know that I'm not righteous. But it's one thing to fail in righteousness. Isaiah says that my righteousness is but filthy rags, right? And so I know that, revelation right here. I didn't even realize. In the breastplate of God's righteousness. This whole time, I am thinking that it's my righteousness. And it's not. It's not my righteousness. And so that's what I'm going up there thinking. I need to be righteous. I need to show people that I'm righteous. I'm not righteous. My righteousness is but filthy rags. Wow. Of course, this podcast would bring about revelation, and I forget. But here's something that I wanted to understand, which is that there's more to this verse. After you put on the whole armor of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, which is to communicate and plead with the Spirit in humility, being vigilant with perseverance and supplication for all saints, which are those who have taken up the cross. I must be humble in spirit through prayer and supplication and perseverance. And for me, Paul, what he says, that iteration may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, the good news, for which I am an ambassador in bonds. I'm a slave, that therein there's a debt to pay. I'm a sinful man, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Therefore utterance may be given unto you, so that you may open your mouth boldly in order to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which one is an ambassador, a representative of a foreign land, which we are going back to in bonds, therefore working out one's salvation to pay for one's sins. Therein one may speak boldly as one ought to speak. I am meant to speak, to make known the mystery of the gospel, but that ye also may know my affairs, and how I do. He's speaking to Tychicus, I don't know. Shall make known to you all things whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose, that ye might know our affairs, that he might comfort your hearts. So, I am meant to speak boldly, to make known the mystery of the gospel, and make known the affairs that comfort hearts. I'm a worship comedian. I'm a worship musician. Everything I do must be worship. And there is work to be done, yes, to be made the kingdom of heaven manifest. That is the work. And there is warfare, yes. But why? To worship. So, I did this comedy club, and it was a new material night, and it's this weird show that I shouldn't have done, but that I needed to do so that I could realize the things. And it's dark, it's depressing, and I did this before, and I feel as if I'm not as good as I used to be because I'm not understanding what I'm made for. So I bombed. But I knew that my flesh must die so that my spirit can ascend. And so there was flesh. My heart was weak because I wasn't putting on the breastplate of God's righteousness. I was trying to clothe myself with filthy rags. Of course, my heart was open. So the Lord said to me, when someone sees that you are a shepherd worthy of fighting a wolf and Goliath with just so much as a slingshot, then one will entrust you with the opportunity. But remember, what is there to bring back if the sheep cannot be directed to a greener pasture? And so the Lord told me to read Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leads me into the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Paths of righteousness. It's God's righteousness. And yet, in Christ we are made righteous. David, so these are my words. David was led to Goliath at the right time. I'll be led to the right place. I'll be ready to fight giants when the time comes. And again, David, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Therefore, in the process of going to receive water and restoring the soul, then the valley of the shadow of death must be traversed. The paths of righteousness are traversed. Then thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I dropped my phone when I saw this. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies, because I thought I was supposed to go into the place of the enemy, the clubs, the places of depravity, the places of depression, darkness. No, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. I will see them in the places he prepares for me. And yes, I will walk through the valleys of the shadow of the death. So, I'll be led to these places with time. The point is not to go there. It is to dwell in the house of the Lord forevermore. I'm creating these places. I continually work for broken places that preach goodness and yet have no God in them. And they don't work. And they mismanage money. And they say that they are for social justice. And they fail. And they sin, which means they miss the mark. So, I don't know who's going to see this, but with the Lord as my witness, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forevermore. And he prepares a table before me in the presence of mine enemies, who I am called to love. So, I'm not going to do shows no more in the same way. I'll make shows. I'll bring people there. But I'm not going to walk into battle. I get to lie down in green pastures, and the battle will come when worship is threatened. But I've made for worship. Tried to do this material. I totally missed it, but learning to love within this life is about learning to love with limitation. And I took Spirit Airlines, and I quickly became very unchristian, and so and also I went to the Holocaust Museum and learned many things. And so I'll make this stand up worthy one day, but it's for another time. The Bible, the Museum of the Bible, the Holocaust Museum, the depravity of man without God is on full display. One cannot fathom the pure compendium and depth of human suffering inflicted upon one another in the name of self-glorification. The word Holocaust, meaning a burnt offering. And yet, there are stories of transcending human suffering and forgiveness. There are stories of triumph. There are stories of overcoming. One of my favorite stories. 3 years in the death camps, and on the day of liberation, she met her husband, an American Jew, who opened the door for her. Chivalry ain't dead. But talk about that. When you open the door to freedom. Getting chills talking about it. Her daughter, she made a bet with her daughter that they would make it out alive. This might have been a different person. Made a bet with her daughter, I think. Her daughter. For like a strawberry cake. And they were on the death march. And they got liberated. And she went to find her daughter. And her daughter was dead. And she remembered that bet. And she told her daughter that we were going to make it out. And her daughter said, I bet you the cake that we won't. They did. In A Man's Search for Meaning, which I'll link. So many books. He talks about how many times when people gave up on their will, they ceased to have a spirit to keep fighting. And I complained about my experience at this summer camp, or my experience on Spirit Airlines. My righteousness is filthy rags. The Bible, the Museum of the Bible, I got to share my story about how the Bible's impacted my life, and hopefully I can find a link or they share my story. There are a few things that I'll need to link, but it's a wonderful museum, and I went to the All Creation Sings, which, God, sobbing and sobbing and sobbing and sobbing and thinking about my friend who cannot see how wonderfully he's been made to worship. And so I highly recommend it. And without saying much more, Jordan Peterson also has a book, We Who Wrestle with God, that's coming out. I went to see him live. Maybe his maybe the specific talk he gave might be on YouTube. I also read the book Son of Hamas, which I will share as well in the next section. Patience. Pray for me that I will grow in my faith and that I won't step on too many toes as I learn to dance with the bridegroom. As long as we continue to search for enemies anywhere but inside ourselves, there will always be a Middle East problem. Religion is not the solution. Religion without Jesus is just self-righteousness. The breastplate of God's righteousness. May you put on the whole armor of God. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. That book is a beautiful story that I highly recommend. And yes, I've been listening to conservative news outlets, and previously I listened to liberal. As long as we continue to search for enemies anywhere but inside ourselves, there will always be a Middle East problem. There will always be war. Because we are made to worship. Religion is not the solution. Politics is not the solution. Politics is for war. Politics is for work. But we're made to worship. And with that being said, patience. How do we get through all this suffering? I mean, going to a museum isn't enough. And I can't speak to being able to go through the horrific nature of the Holocaust. I can't speak to being martyred, but I know that I'm being called to do that. Well, as always, I tried to write about stuff, and I don't know if there's anything worth sharing here other than what I have just shared with you. Let's share with you my life priorities, and if I have time to, again, share the process, that would be nice. But it'd be nice to share these things with you, because this will be shared also. Accept every moment such that I may direct everything to the highest good. Play. Willingness into the game of life, suffering willingly, fully sensitive, and fully strong, and fully willing. That's most important. Bible/devotional every day and reading, yes. In a romantic relationship leading to marriage, I'm not there yet. Growth together spiritually and everything is towards God. Ministry together. Consistent production of live shows, events at the house with parents involved. I'm going to get back on that when I get home. Paraprosdokianist is real, thriving, consistent, thriving working relationships. All facets of creativity have a pipeline, are being released. Podcasting and extemporaneous writing. Creation is a big part of things. Multimedia, this is going to happen. And the rest, we'll see. Chess. I play. Oh yeah. This is fun to share. This is one of the things I got out of being with the kids, and I don't know if I'll be able to share this on this somehow. But I started playing Clash Royale again and Brawl Stars and all the mobile games, and it's a blast. So I really missed that. These are some of the podcasting that I listen to. I listen to Ben Shapiro. Again, he's a virulent 5-foot Nazi. I listen to a lot of different things, and unfortunately, many of these things might be called bigoted. I don't know what to say. I don't agree with everything, but there are views that may get me canceled that I will share with time. But again, the enemy is within. And so I'll be prepared to defend and to explain in love and to be open. And again, I don't know everything. So bring to me your argument and we'll talk about it. But I'm not there to fight. I'm not there to fight you, at least. My friend Justin, he just came out with a new song. It's amazing. Let's play it real quick. Shut up and dance. That's the song. Oh god, this is so cool. I'm reacting to it like people on YouTube.
Please don't compare me to nobody. Speak on me, no receipt. Copy. Cease to seize no bull, I'm not cocky. get looser. I don't need sake. New energy from the new pape. We know who was who from who was not talking. Almost got killed at the Ruby Tuesday. Homie told him chill, put away your little Uzi bag. Bougie, listen in the boozy. When the Trump out, he gon' judge like Judy. In a bad mood, cause his cousin was a cutie. The homie had my bag and I owe him truly. And I pay my rent. So with me hit the spotlight, dog, just shut up and dance. Shut up and dance. Shut up and dance. Shut up and dance. Don't get so drunk, you get sloppy.
So good. You got to hear the full song. I don't know how this works, but like you hear me speaking over it, but we'll see in the recording. Bible in a Year. Gotta listen. I'll give that to you. Son of Hamas. Devil in Karl Marx, which I wanted to bring up right here. That's not it. I mean, oh my God. Just, again, not political, but this is proclaimed to be political. This is proclaimed to be economic. But let's go through what Marx had to say. Man makes religion. Religion does not make man. Again, religion is not the answer. However, he defines man later. Religion is indeed the self-consciousness and self-esteem of man, who has either not yet won through to himself or has already lost himself again. Therefore, man makes the self-consciousness and self-esteem of himself, who has either not yet won through to himself or has already lost himself again. So, again, it's difficult. He's defining man as something that can be won through to himself. So there's levels of Marx claims man must win through to himself. So there's this true essence of man that he is proclaiming. But man is no abstract being squatting outside the world. Man is the world of man. Man is state and society. So man, capital, right? Man is the world of man, state, society. So interposed upon the book, right? You define these words by what is said. Therefore, state, society makes, right? So this is that statement replaced with the definition. State or society makes the self-consciousness and self-esteem of himself or man, who has either not yet won through to himself or has already lost himself. Again, so state and society makes the barriers, the self-consciousness and self-esteem of man, who has now a barrier of winning through to himself or has lost himself again. So either not yet won or has lost, right? So two directions. This state and this society produce religion, which is an inverted consciousness. So man produces the inverted consciousness, the self-consciousness of this world, because they are an inverted world. So this state and this society. Okay, so this man, right? Again. So therefore, this state and society makes the inverted self-consciousness and self-esteem of man. Right? So man, there's man and himself. Okay, so Marx's objective is that man wins through to himself so that he corrects his consciousness. Right? Religion is the general theory of this world. It's encyclopedic compendium. It's logic in popular form. Okay, logic, great. Popular form. Okay, it's spiritual point of honor. It's enthusiasm. It's moral sanction. Okay, sanction. It's solemn compliment, and it's universal basis of consolation and justification. Okay, I mean, he's praising religion. He's saying it's the universal basis of consolation and justification, which is great. Okay, but as he said before, religion is indeed the self-consciousness. So the self-consciousness and self-esteem of man is also the universal basis of consolation and justification, which he believes is wrong. Okay, so it is the fantastic realization of the human essence. Since the human essence, fantastic, immaterial realization of a human essence, since the human essence has not acquired any true reality. So, religion, this consolation and justification, this self-consciousness and self-esteem, is the immaterial realization of the human essence, since the human essence has not acquired any true reality. So there's this reality beyond reality that the human essence, right, man himself can acquire. So there's a reality that is more true. Therefore, the struggle against religion is therefore indirectly the struggle against the world, whose spiritual aroma is religion. So we must break free from the shackles of the world, which is also consolation and justification, logic, so that we are struggling to find a true essence, right? So there's something beneath. Religious suffering is at one and the same time the expression of real suffering and a protest against real suffering. So we're trying to break through real suffering and a process. So it defines reality as a dialectic, circular logic, real suffering, and again, if anybody's watching this, I encourage you to comment and elucidate these things to me. But anyways, real suffering. So therefore, religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, the heart of a heartless world, and the soul of soulless conditions. It is the opium of the people. So this consolation and justification is a drug that is, so there's an illusory reality that we are participating in that we must break free from. So the sigh rather than the fight. Sigh of the oppressed creature, so he wants a shout and a sword. Heart of a heartless world, soul of soulless conditions. Again, he praises, well, he doesn't praise religion, but he says the heart of a heartless world, right? So how can there be a heart of a heartless world? I mean, because if man makes state and society, then therefore man is, and man makes the world, then man makes the heart of a heartless world. Anyways, but man is not won through to himself. Okay, the abolition of religion as the illusion or happiness of the people is the demand for their real happiness. Demand for real happiness, but again, he cannot define because religion is logic itself, and he also cannot, well, popular logic, which is not the same as man's true essence, but there's a reality beyond reality. To call on them to give up their illusions about their condition is to call on them to give up a condition that requires illusions. So, kill yourself. Pretty much, because to give up a condition that requires illusion is to, he's saying that that's religion, but again, he's also saying that reality itself is predicated upon illusion, so it's death. The criticism of religion, therefore, in embryo, the birth, the criticism of that veil of tears. Okay, so you must criticize this veil of tears, which is this reality that we are part of. I mean, criticism of veil of tears of which religion is a halo. So he talks of a bridge. Where did I say bridge? I don't know if I said that. Correct me. So he talks of a bridge and then also a halo. There is a marriage and yet a halo. There's an angelic quality that is wed. Okay, so there's tears of a veil. So we're wed to maybe this reality. Criticism has plucked the imaginary flowers on the chain, not in order that man shall continue to bear that chain without fantasy or consolation, but that he shall throw off the chain and pluck the living flowers. So he's saying criticize religion. This man is I mean, it's clear that he's heartbroken, sycophant, and he's suffering. That's true for Marx. He's a terrible human being. And this is from reading about him. The criticism of religion disillusions man, so that he will think, act, and fashion his reality, like a man who has discarded his illusions and regained his senses. Okay. Disillusionment, good. We want reality, so that he will move around himself as his own true son. So man he's created this state and society around himself, but in reality there's this true essence within that is the son. I mean, yeah, this is God, but that he will move around himself. So this is the part that's very difficult, because obviously he's speaking in dialectical terms that again, do not follow coherent logic, usually, because you can't define the terms. This was the winning of himself. This man is a narcissistic, heartbroken, imbecilic sycophant who seeks only his own gratification and resentment. He seeks to worship himself as the son. He win through to himself as the son through criticism of religion. And yet the gravity of the son and power is that which allows the balance and reality of the universe, right? So the real son that is built on illusions. And yet he sees man as a broken being of inverted consciousness, and once he criticizes religion, he breaks from reality itself into the man revolving around himself and the source of power. So in the criticism of religion, religion is only the illusory sun which revolves around man as long as he does not revolve around himself. Wait, is this what he said? Wait, what? Okay, religion is only the illusory sun. Okay, yes, which revolves around man. So religion revolves around man because he's created state and society, as he does not revolve around himself. So we must revolve. A man must revolve around himself. Religion revolves around man as long as he does not revolve around himself. Yeah, literally, the world does not revolve around you, Karl Marx. This is therefore the task of history, and he defines history. He defines a movement of many disparate forces that one has zero control over, unless one becomes God himself as history. How can one control history? Well, only through sure death and destruction. Totalitarianism. Once the other world of truth has vanished, destroy the truth, logos, to establish the truth of this world, then to reestablish the truth of another world. So, it is therefore the task of history, once the other world of truth has vanished, to establish the truth of this world, this new world, where man revolves around himself. It is the immediate task of philosophy, which is in the service of history, to unmask self-estrangement in its unholy forms. Once the holy form of human self-estrangement has been unmasked, so the holy form of returning to oneself, holy literally means separate. Anyways, he wishes to find the unholy, unmask the holy form of human self-estrangement, and then unmask the holy. And yeah, it's purely demonic, because he's seeking the unholy. Thus, the criticism of heaven turns into the criticism of earth. The dismantling of heaven turns into the dismantling of earth. Criticism of religion, state, and society turns into the criticism of the world, which is this world, again, that he says. The criticism of religion into the criticism of law. He sees religion as heaven itself, and therefore the basis of law, which is the logos, which is the laws of the universe, and criticism of theology into the criticism of politics, therefore politics, society itself. He wishes to destroy everything so that he can fulfill his narcissistic, sycophantic, imbecilic psychobabble of a heartbroken demonic man. He has the spirit of Satan, Cain in himself. Speaking. Yeah, I mean, he wishes to take on God by destroying this reality. And I can see how that is a noble calling of sorts, criticism of religion, of state, of society, of this ruthless criticism of all that exists. I hope someone listens to this and corrects me and doesn't want to kill me for speaking this way. But I'm going to have to think about this a little more, because I don't know if I fully understand what's really going on here. Again, religion is not the answer, so I'm not necessarily in favor of religion. But I don't think I'm in favor of the criticism of the ruthless criticism of all that exists, which is some of the book I need to start reading Faust, but I don't have much time, so I'm going to move on, and I'll try to continue to explicate further. Anything exciting here? Action step for my health coach was to get a day of uninterrupted sleep and rest and continue the podcast and do it. So I'm doing that. There's a lot more to do, but it'll be different when I get back. Anything to share here? My one-man show, I'm going to do some stuff on that. I need to figure out a way to communicate it without alienating. All right. Let's see if there's anything here worth sharing. I'm going to be putting out my shows soon, and they'll be on this YouTube channel, so I don't know if there's anything really I can share with you. I hope I can get a hold of my friend Rich after this. I'll try and call him again later. Yeah, we're still working on a documentary. There's a show coming up on October 5th. I'll be plugging that on my Substack. There's a lot of cool stuff coming, but not much I was able to do on that front. And I'll be releasing another live show podcast, full special. I'm releasing a full special. Let's talk about that. Nathanael Philip Mosher Has Friends. I will be putting out the first episode very soon. So when that comes out, I will share it. And we'll see if it's out by then. But this podcast must be released without fail. See the thumbnail. It's on private. You know what? I can share with you the private thing.
I need help
because it'll become public soon enough. That's my face. And this is professionally recorded. It's so cool. Anyways, all right. Send that. All right. I didn't really share much this last time about this specific tab, but you know what? There's some interesting stuff here because this is sort of the missions that I'm moving forward with, and so let's see if there's anything worth gleaning. So many things. Obviously, so deep, and as you can see, makes sense that I'm probably going to become a teacher. Let's talk about some of my missions. Edify, educate, edit, lead, better. I'm starting to elucidate some of the things that are the missions that I want to do with this, and starting to lag here. I don't think the audio lags, but we'll see. I mean, this is very low production quality. It'll get better with time, but very difficult to. I don't even have a mic that's working. I don't have the proper power sources. I don't have the proper voltage to a live stream. I don't have the proper computer. I don't have I have some of the equipment. Anyways. Oh God, it's lagging. Can't even move. Okay. Let's wait. Sorry about this. Probably because of this thing. Let's just have this link or something without actually loading anything. How do I do that? X. Oh. See, lots of technical difficulties. Let's just do this, and let's do. What can I do? There we go. That'll be better. Okay. Some interesting things here that maybe are not worth sharing because this is having a lot of trouble. Not worth sharing. Anything. Not worth sharing because it's just lagging. Mr. Beast gives a lot of great advice about stuff, but I'm still figuring that out. Let's move forward. These are kind of interesting. This is a newsletter. I think it's better as I explicate. I want to post a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to figure out how to apply some of the principles I've learned from money towards these things. Ultimately, I don't know what's really needed to be shared in this department. I thought there would be more here. I'm sorry for wasting. If you made it this far and you're still here, I'm sure you're like in your bed sleeping or doing something, multitasking, so that's okay. All right. Finally. I didn't talk about this, but I try to answer questions, and so I'm working on a few different projects. Where am I going? I think that's going to be used to outline some of. I'll free write, and that's based on The Artist's Way, a book that I can link this way. Anyways, I'll be taking a quiz. I'll be having you take a pop quiz on all this stuff at some point. I'm definitely a teacher here. I'm going to be trying to turn my one-man show into a book, and so this question of where am I going, who am I, where do I come from, those are two questions I'm trying to answer. I've been writing about. And anyways, the process I do is I write about 10 times the amount of words that I need to write to. This is for the stage, or for books or anything. I've sort of found out that about 150 words of prose equals 1 minute on stage. And so I'll write 10 times the amount that I need. And so I'm writing like 67,000 words on this. And, I don't know how many on this. How many love stories had to go right before us? This is a documentary about my grandma that I'm working on. Why do I write? What do I dream of? Some things that I'm working on. But it's a very helpful process because I'm able to write freely. I don't even edit. It's gibberish, and then I find out, you can kind of read it, and then I edit it, and I have to cut down by a multiple of 10, and then I get this raw prose. And I get some interesting stuff. I'll give you an example of like what it looks like to cut stuff down. I dream of a world in which there's no suffering because I dream of the kingdom of heaven. Similar to Marx, except he thinks that he can get it here. I know that this world is not of this earth. I do not dream of world peace. That is counter. The world cannot be peaceful. I dream of a peaceful humanity. I dream of humanity in peace. The kingdom of heaven is within you. I dream of human peace. I dream of relationships with God. Anyways, so you get this thing, and then you interpose the form upon it later. And so this is for a special I'm working on where it's a collection of old stand-up clips, which really liberate me from this comparison of... I've been reading some books. I'm reading Oswald Chambers. Let's go over what he talked about today. It's always helpful. They found him in the temple, and he said to them, "Did you not know that I must be about my Father's business?" Luke 2:46-49. The title is Prayer in the Father's House. I'll just read you the first paragraph. Our Lord's childhood was not immaturity waiting to grow into manhood. His childhood is an eternal fact. Am I a holy, innocent child of God as a result of my identification with my Lord and Savior? Do I look at my life as being in my Father's house? Is the Son of God living in his Father's house within? Now, this was very helpful for me to remember that my life is about worship, and I must work for the kingdom of heaven. I didn't end up reading much of this, but I'm going to need to read Faust because Marx loves Mephistopheles and the ruthless criticism of all that exists. Again, God's creation is not perfect. We're fallen. It's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to teach us so that we can be in the kingdom of heaven. But anyways, I'm reading The Art of War by Sun Tzu. More to come on this. I think when I get to the other parts, the Tao Te Ching. Oh, this is backwards. You can't read it anyways. But there's a lot of wisdom in here. But the warfare, spiritual warfare. St. Augustine, Confessions. It shows me how much one must really confront the reality of one's sin. And when I had a moment in All Creation Sings where I was really confronted with how deep the sin of my heart is, and I just started crying and crying and crying and crying, and it's good. So the weakness of my heart that will be protected by God's righteousness must be shown. Praying Life, a friend sent me this. Learning about prayer, coming to God as a child. This book about the prodigal son, prodigal God, about the two different sides of the story. I have some stuff on this that I'd like to share at some point. I think without further ado, we finish this podcast. It was good, about an hour. Finished this podcast with some chess. I watched a video on the Nimzovich defense. This is the chess giant, my friend Solomon. I hung out with him and worked with him at Train Children Chess. Should also link that. If you live in the South Bay and need chess lessons, this guy's awesome, Josh.
In today's video, we're going...
This is the same video twice. Nimzovich defense. See, look at this. Everything. Full soulmate from the Philippines. Always trying porn. Nimzovich defense. Hanging pawns. This guy's great. I'm trying to learn from him. Anyways, I'll link that. I'm trying to watch these things, but of course it doesn't save because I'm logged into different accounts and this and this. Any new notes that I found? The best thing is to balk the enemy's plan. So your idea must first be put to the test. So look at the pain first is most important. This is also in the spirit of The Art of War. Always check first that your idea was in the right place. Only correct if it wasn't headed in the right direction. Never get the same scar twice. Always think on their time. This is important that I'm trying to learn. Do not ever open a file unless you have control of the file. This applies to many things in life, but don't open a pathway to something until you know that you have control over it. Speed comes from clarity. Clarity comes from the Lord and from rest. Work to deserve rest, and rest such that your work may bear fruit. What is the fruit? It's how you love one another. So much clarity is seeing what threats are real and which aren't. I'm a terrible player, which means so are the people I'm playing against. Give yourself the option to castle, but don't do it unless you have to defend. Anyways, all right, let's play some chess. Try not to be as bad as last time. I think my rating's like the same. I need to be able to talk and play at the same time. And anyway, let's make it a little bit bigger, but it's hard because like I need that mouse speed. Okay, so I've been playing the Nimzovich defense, and so again, I don't know it that well. Now it recommends to play this. It recommends to play this, which just gets really boring, so I'm not gonna play it. Okay. He does that. You're supposed to get out here, but then it's really annoying, and something about this because of this, and in the Nimzovich defense, again, I don't have any time. I'm not very good, so I don't know what to do. Now see that this is going to come down, so that's kind of annoying. So maybe I could play this preparatory move so that he doesn't pin my knight, and then he does something really annoying. Okay, let's play this. He's probably going to trade. Oh, interesting. Should I pin him? What can I do here? I don't know. I don't even know where this guy's supposed to go. Let's just get this guy out. I'm not going to castle because that sucks. This advanced thing is really annoying. Any tactics here? Nope. Yeah, I don't know where this guy's going to go. Or here, or here, or here. I mean, this, if I go here, there's no checks anymore. But then if I go here, takes, nothing here. Oh, I can push. Okay. Okay. If I double the pawns, his pawn structure is actually improved. Oh, God. I have no idea what to do in this position. Takes 97. Push. Where does his knight go? Oh, his knight has no place to go. Weird. Interesting. There's a check. There. Okay. That's what he wants to do. That's really annoying. Takes. He has to take back so I can get this check. Okay, let's go here so I can block.
Think before you answer, Kylie Chan.
Another friend calling. Recording. Alright. This sucks. Okay, now I can castle. Even though he's gonna harass me. Oh my god, what if I go here? Then what does he do? I don't know. I don't have any time. See, I'm wasting so much time. God. I mean, it's like to talk and do this at the same time. Okay. Oh, you so annoying. If I go here. Okay, let's go here. Is he gonna go here? Here? What is he doing? Okay. Fine. Let's go here. What the heck? Okay, go here, here. Let's go here. Okay, I think I can move fast because I think I like my position now. He has to prevent a lot of things from happening. I can take with an attack on the queen. Oh, win the queen. I always forget. That's first. Uh-oh. That sucks. Okay, take up, takes, here, here. He's gonna get this thing. It's so annoying. Ugh. Okay, he can't push. Okay, I got no time. 2 seconds to communicate to you guys? How do I do that? Okay, push. Push, check. What the heck? This has to be good. He moves out of the way, then what? I just push a pawn? What the heck? Check? What's he doing? He's panicking. He has 2.5 minutes left and he's destroying the game. Why are you doing this to yourself? Again? How is this guy... What? What? Just absolutely horrendous. What? You want to check and then what? Okay, whatever. What's he gain from this? What the heck is he doing? Take. Oh, so dumb. That's what you're trying to do? What if it went here? I have so much time here. Okay, this threatens checkmate. Then what? Then what? A million seconds. Checkmate. Okay, cool. We are not analyzing a win because we're lazy. Let's play one more game. Okay, win the queen. What's the pain? God, that was painful. That was painful. That was painful. Let's just do something dumb. Takes castle. Okay. This would be nice to get. I could do that. I could do that. Okay, here. Alright. I have a center. I go here. He takes. Let's do this, because then I can put my queen here. Uh-oh. And I can do this. Haha. Oh, that sucks. Okay. What does he want? Control the open file. What the heck? Oh. Okay. If I went there, then what? Because I'm threatening that. What's he gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Interesting. So take that. That defense. Cool. He has that. Okay, there's nothing here. I have to take that. There's something here. That has to be bad. I swear that has to be bad, but I don't really know why. Yeah, I'm not that good at chess. Here. Nope. Here. No. Gotta attack something. What am I gonna do? Here? There? Yeah, that seems right. I'll go there. How are you gonna stop that? How are you gonna stop that? How are you gonna stop that? Ah! It's probably right here. Hyperlink the Substack docs so that people on YouTube can click. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to share all this stuff with you guys, and then eventually I need to ask for some money because it's a lot of work. Oh, what? Okay, well, then he goes there. And then what? Yeah, I still think that's good for me. Interesting. Takes here. There's a check. Oh, I see. Okay, so he takes here. He goes check. Oh, here. Nothing happens, right? But also, this is annoying. I could also just do this. Then what? And I go here. He has to defend somehow there. I could go here. Check. Huh. But this doesn't really do anything. Ooh, what about this? If I go here, he takes, I take. That's a check. He's checked. He can't block, so he has to move or something. And then I can go here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Oh, but then he just double protects or something. He doesn't, because he doesn't have to take. And then I go here and here. Here. Ooh, that's a bad idea. Just check. Okay. Prevents any nasty business. And I go here and that allows everything. Oh, that's so annoying. So annoying. Why is he playing well? I don't know what to do. Oh, you freaking... Oh, God, what is happening? Is there something here? Did I just lose the game? Wow. Ah! Played too slow. I'm not that good at chess. Alright. What did I mess up? Well, let's actually look at where... Oh my god. Straight blunders in the opening. Bishop b3. Show me. Okay. That's... Okay. Well... I had a missed win. So, how did I win? Oh, I could have just done that. That's what I thought. The pain wasn't real. What could I have done? Nothing. Oh, it's still a draw. Okay, anyways, this is what I usually do to analyze. I find the first mistake, because if I can't even see that stuff, then what's the point? Okay, what would have happened? Why does it always resets my settings? I do very low depth, and I just look at the principles. Let's see. Look at the structures that would have happened and what is important. Obviously, I'm not that great, and it's not like super great. It's not working. The best. This is so funny. I wonder if anyone's ever gonna watch this, but it's pretty hilarious. But it's worship, warfare, and worship, warfare, and worship. Play a quick bullet game and not talk, explain anything. Just play to not think, and then I'll say goodbye, and I have to spend some time hyperlinking everything. Okay, I gotta move really fast. Let's. Oh God, Scandinavian. Takes. He's gonna pin the knight. I think he usually goes. Oh, geez, that's annoying because of this. Let's try this. No, that doesn't work either. Oh, he missed it. Okay, cool. Here. Oh, shoot. Go back. What? Why would you do this to me? Where are you gonna go? Everything's broken. You're dead. I'll take you. Double the pawns. This seems... Nope, there's nothing there. This seems important. I don't know what's happening. Control the open file. Uh-oh. Why'd he do that? I don't get it. There. There. Nope, there's nothing there. God, I feel like he's doing better. Let's go here. He has 2 bishops. Seems. Oh, I can get control again. Oh God, he's trying to hit there. Ooh, jeez. It's annoying. No. What can I do? Here? He's doing great. Whoa! What did you just do? Just lost a pawn? Okay. Shoot. Over there. Takes that. These bishops are just lined up at my king. Uh-oh. Oh, I just lost connection. Takes. There's nothing here. Oh God, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Oh, I suck. $18.50. Man, not bad. Anyways, that's it. Hopefully I'll be better next week, but if not, doesn't really matter. At chess. I hope I'm better at everything else. All right. Well, if you listen this far, just give a thumbs up, comment, something, do something, fart and record it and send it to me. Do something. Please let me know that you actually listen to this entire thing. I hope one day that this worship is worth it. Without further ado, I've been Nathanael Philip Mosher, and this has been the process of the Paraprosdokian. Go forth. Live to tell your tale. Until next week. Therefore, by the grace of God, go I.